A week ago, another one of us has passed away. Another bike rider has died. Bringing this to your attention because this happens constantly, alright? You might not hear about it, you might not know about it, but us riders have a weird tendency to die. I'm doing this video to alert other riders, future riders, whoever it is, that riding a bike is not a video game. Bikes are dangerous. Bikes are not toys. And you need to treat them like the dangerous machines that they are. Riding a bike is always a risk. No matter what people might say, this coming from me, that I have been riding for a couple of years, bikes are not a toy. Bikes are a risk. Every time you sit on your bike, there is a risk, just like everywhere else, just like with everything else. Difference is, the risk here is a bit higher. Because remember, when you go on a car, when you're driving a car, you have bumpers, you have plastic, you have engines, you have everything in front of you to protect you in case of a hit. On the bike, you have yourself. So chances are you're either getting badly hurt or you're dying. Unfortunately, another casualty had to happen for me to get this idea of doing this video. There was a motovlogger that passed away a couple of days ago. May he rest in peace. And that made me do this video because a lot of young people are getting into bikes more and more and more. Don't get me wrong, I'm saying young. I'm not exactly the oldest guy in the bunch either, but I've been riding for a couple of years now, so that's why I'm talking like this. So a lot of young people are getting on bikes and thinking they are immortal, they're invincible, they feel good, bikes are good, they make you feel nice, they make you focus on what you need to focus and not think about anything else when you step on the bike. Bikes are generally good, but you need to have a brain to go with them. This might sound a bit hypocrite, coming from a guy that sometimes also does his own dodgy things, and maybe, yeah, not everything is always as it should be. The difference is, I know the consequences. Whenever you see me maybe going over the speed limit, maybe doing something a little bit more stupid, I know the consequences. I know what might happen. I might die, and worst, honestly worst, I might end up badly injured for my life, for the rest of my life. So dying in the end is not actually that bad, bearing in mind the million other things that might happen to you that won't kill you. And yeah, I'm doing this video because this young rider had an accident and unfortunately he passed away. We don't know the circumstances of this accident, we don't know how it happened, but in the end, what I want to say is, it doesn't matter how an accident happens. The only thing that matters is dead people do not come back. They do not come back. You will not come back from a serious accident. You will not. And you need to convince yourself of this when you're doing whatever you're doing. And don't get me wrong, I do it as well. You need to face the consequences. You need to be aware of the possible outcome and the possible consequences of your actions. As long as you do so, and as long as you're at peace with what you're doing, then whatever comes, comes. Although you need to remember, you or me or anyone else dying is probably the easiest thing for us. You need to remember the rest of the people that actually stay on this planet, mourning your death for the years to come and probably affecting their life in ways you possibly maybe don't even imagine. Think about your mom, your dad, your daughters, your sisters, your brothers, your whoever is part of your family and friends. Think about how long they're going to be mourning your death and how hard this will affect them through their whole lives, especially parents that bought your motorcycle if they did. Imagine the guilt on your parents when they know they offered you a motorcycle because it was something you've always wanted, and then you die riding it. Imagine this. Guys, this is not me saying don't ride a motorcycle. I'm always going to be in favor of riding a motorcycle. It's always a good thing to do. What I've always, and what I want to ask you new riders, you possible new riders, is be aware of what you're doing. Don't think you're invincible, because you are not. I'm telling this story because since I started riding, I've met 5 people that have died while on controls of a motorcycle. If it was their fault, we're never gonna know. But in the end, just like I said before, it doesn't matter whose fault is it, because they're the ones underground now. They're the ones buried, and they are the ones leaving families behind. I had 5 cases of riders dying, and I've had another 3 cases of serious accidents in which actually the riders didn't suffer any injuries, but their bikes were totaled. So guys, not everything is black and white. You might end up having a serious accident and nothing happening, but chances are that something bad will happen. Please be aware of that when you're riding a bike. I'm not saying don't enjoy it. Enjoy the bike, but there's a time and place for everything. I'm not gonna do 100 miles per hour here. I'm not, even though I know people that do it. Again, if you're going to take a risk, that it will be a risk, be smart where you do it. Be smart. Try to minimize the risk. You will never be 100% risk-free, because even if you're doing 300 kilometers an hour on an empty motorway, there will be a cat, there will be a dog, there will be a person, there will be something weird, there will be a tire in the middle of the road that will affect all of this. So guys, do it. Be smart about how you do it, but in the end, remember, the engine is in your head. Everything is in your head. As powerful as bikes might be, the engine will always be in your head. You control this little thing. You control it, not the bike. Bike doesn't control it. You control it. So please guys, be smart, be safe, don't do anything stupid. This young man was motor turtled. You might have seen some of his videos. I hope this is somehow a good message for you to pass on to your friend, family, whoever rides a bike, because the day will come, guys. You never know when the day will come, so make sure you try to minimize the chances of that day coming for you. One thing I forgot to mention is, remember, between you and a lorry this size, you are the weakest link. All right, between you and the car to my left, you are the weakest link. The reason I'm saying this, I've seen countless videos of bikers raging, doing this, doing that against other vehicles on the road. Believe me, you will not win that fight. You will not win that fight. We've seen several examples. YouTube is full of them. YouTube is full of examples of motorcyclists raging against whatever other vehicle there might be on the road. That's a car, a bus, whatever, and they usually lose the fight. They will usually, and quite often, lose that fight. So guys, road raging will not take you anywhere. You never know how crazy other people might be as well. If someone throws a car at you, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna stay and complain? Or what likely is going to happen is you're gonna get badly injured. That person, yeah, they might get a sentence. Something might happen to them, but in the end, if you get badly injured for life, or if you die, do you think that really matters? Do you think this will bring anyone satisfaction that that guy was arrested because he badly injured that one person, and that one person is now bedbound for the rest of their life? And for what? For what? Because they suddenly didn't like the way a guy didn't indicate, and they managed to rage against him. The other guy was crazy, and this happened. Guys, there's no point whatsoever in these videos. I cannot stand them anymore, to be very honest with you. I think motorcyclists do get the fame that we do get because There's a reason behind it. There's a reason behind it, and that's because sometimes we don't behave the way we need to behave. We're the weak links in the road, not them. We are. So we should behave like such. We shouldn't be the ones being aggressive towards anyone. We should be the ones being least aggressive to anyone, because this is a 2-ton weapon in front of me. 2-ton weapon. I'm riding a 200 kilo bike plus my weight on top of it. You know who's gonna win, and it's definitely not gonna be me. And that's it, guys. That's all I had to say. Clears my head a little bit about this whole situation and about us bikers losing our lives constantly on the road for no reason except because sometimes we can't behave properly. Yeah, this is just it. This is it. Just wanted to clarify some things, just to kind of warn any new riders coming up. Again, if you liked the video, you liked it. If you didn't like it, well, it's not meant to be liked. It is what it is. Hope you enjoyed it anyway. And that's it. See you on the next one.